Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my friends. Welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. And I am the Dark Librarian, your host. And I'm here to tell tales of terror. Oh, yes. Nectar of the devils. Oh, and this is my friend, Mr. Bones. And he is here to help me. This is the tome of terror that we will delve in this time. This is from Charlton Comics. Ghostly Tales number 117. Oh. And of course they will have tales of ghosts and goblins and gremlins. For what your wondrous terror appetites. So let's go. Let us go ahead now and venture into the halls of horror. With ghostly tales. And here is the issue of the hour. Ghostly Tales number 117 from 1975, Charlton Comics. And that is a horror suspense anthology published by Charlton from 1966 to 1984. But it was primarily reprint material from 78 to 84. And it was hosted when it was hosted. You can see the horror host here up in the corner box. But in this particular issue, he doesn't show up. It was Mr. L. Dead, who later it was changed to same character. He was I Am Dead. And he was a purple-skinned, behorned, middle-aged gent dressed like a vampire. And he told his tales from the parlor of a haunted house. And he did none of that in this issue. And you can see this. This is the cover. On this cover, this is actually a painted cover by Joe Stanton. Actually, it looks like it's painted, but it looks like a watercolor or a wash. And this had, I think it was 3 stories in it. And I'll briefly go through some of those here. But first, you see here I have some pictures of various comic book horror hosts. And if you like them, or any other characters that you like from comic books, comic strips, science fiction movies such as Star Trek, Star Wars, etc., you can get some from me. Hand-drawn and colored, just to suit your needs. Just contact me here at my email address right there. There we have Ghostly Tales 117. And inside. Now in this first story, they made a slight error. They, while recording the credits for the creators, they made a boo-boo. They switched the credits for the writing and art duties. So this, even though it says artist Joe Gill was the writer. And the artists were Nicholas and Howard. I can't remember what Nicholas's first name was, but the other credit, Howard, that's Wayne Howard, and I think he's doing the inks. And you can see it in here. And his work always had a very strong Wally Wood influence to it. And even that comes through here. And it starts right off, not for sale. Sound like that. From a ghostly image in this house. Real estate agent trying to sell this old mansion. But all the prospective buyers seem to be getting scared off. And here not too far, and scaring all the potential buyers off. And this guy is trying to get his own real estate agency going, but he can't make any sales because the ghosts keep scaring people away. And he refuses to go back to work for his previous employer. But in this house is this portrait of this beautiful young blonde lady, and he says he really can't. He's going to prove that it's okay. There's nothing harmful here, and he can't explain what's been going on. But he's going to stay here first because he can't really afford to not to maintain his own living quarters and get his business started. So he's going to stay in this house, and that will prove to prospective buyers that it's safe. Meanwhile, there he finds this diary. It turns out to be the diary of this lady, and then the ghost comes to him, and it is the ghost of this young lady. He said, "I died of sheer loneliness and heartbreak." That voice, do I really hear it? And he wanders around the house and finds little tidbits. And this room looks almost lived in, and etc., etc. And the ghost visits him, talks with him, and he starts having feelings for this ghost. Well, here comes his former boss is trying to talk him out of it, out of the house, letting him coming back to work for him, and they'll sell the house. Then it comes this in his office. This young lady comes to buy a house, and he sees that she looks just like the lady in that portrait. And he takes her. She wants to buy a house. He takes and shows her. She's interested in that old house. And she looks around. She loves it. She just loves the place. And there's no image. No ghost coming to challenge, to kick anybody out. And he admits it. He's been living here. And the two, right then and there, they fall in love. Because they both feel like they've known each other for ages. And that's in. That is a strong departure from the kind of ghostly stories or other horror stories that they would present here. This is almost like something from well, it's a cross between a romance and a horror story, like a gothic romance or something. And that's kind of neat. Here's another story, timely conclusion. This is written by Charles Smith, drawn by Rich Larson. This old man scientist at bad health, death's door while he's working on this machine. It's supposed to be a time machine. He has a mild heart attack. He's living with his sister, and he treats her abominably. And he finally finishes his machine, and having another heart attack. Oh, he thinks he's going to die. But he's got to get in the time machine and try and go to the future. That's what he wants. Go to the future. And here it is. The timer clicking. He gets out. The time Opens, he gets out and he looks out. The house is still just as it was. The neighborhood is just as it was. And then he has a heart attack and dies. And he didn't realize that this was an historical site. Everything was preserved as it had been centuries before. Oh, and then letters to the haunted house. Letters page. And here's the cover story with a gremlin in the cockpit. This is written by Joel Malloy and drawn by Steve Ditko. And it's not his best work, but it is quite adequate. Sometimes Ditko looked like he phoned it in. And this is, well, during World War II, during the Japanese occupation and invasion of Japan, and of China, Japanese invasion of China, of carrying needed military cargo over the mountains, and is attacked by Japanese fighters. Think they're going to be shot down. The captain orders everyone to abandon ship. They bail out. Then they see that the plane didn't crash, and they go there and they find it in perfectly good condition. But inside, you see that the captain is dead. So with his neck broken, he died. Right, something killed him after he landed. Well, they don't know what to do. They take off and to continue their mission. And here it is, the gremlin. Oh, gremlin popped up and is attacking them. And they're seeming to help us. Then the ghost of the captain appears and fights off the gremlin and defeats it. Then he takes control of the plane and flies it to their destination and lands it, and then he disappears and says, "I'll always look out for you guys." And that is that for this time with Bizarre Brain Comics. Ooh. So please like, share, subscribe. Yeah, if you like this and the other stuff I present here, subscribe, share it with your friends, and do leave comments. I like to read the comments. Tell me what you think. What other ghosty stuff that I might have would you be interested in seeing, etc. And remember, everyone, comics are art.